Hello friends, welcome to Agriculture our YouTube channel. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about the general agriculture terminology, which is helpful for the different agriculture competition exam. So let's start the video. First, we discuss the what is the agriculture. Prior to discuss the agriculture, we can understand what is the meaning of agriculture. So the agriculture is a Latin word, which is become a two Latin word, agri plus culture. Agri means soil and culture means cultivation. So the soil cultivation, the meaning of agriculture is this cultivation of soil. So the agriculture we can be defined as the cultivation of soil, growing of harvesting crop, breeding and raising of livestock, packing, processing and marketing agriculture commodities. Okay. In another word, we can be defined it as agriculture. Agriculture is the science of growing crops, raising animal to meet food, fiber, fuel, and other need of humans. So we can understand what is the agriculture. Agriculture is a science. What is which type of science? Growing of crop, rising of animal to meet the food, fiber, fuel, and other need of humans. Okay. So next is agronomy. What is the agronomy? The agronomy can be defined as the agronomy is the branch of agriculture that deal with the field crop production and soil management. Okay. Next is irrigation. What is the irrigation? Irrigation is the artificial application of water to the soil or crop plant to assist the crop production. We all know the water is the necessary component of all living organism. So the irrigation is the most important one of the factor of crop production, successful crop production. So the irrigation is the artificial application of water from soil crop plant to assist the crop productions. Next is irrigated soil. What is the irrigated soil? The soil which receive the irrigation water from well and tube wells are known as irrigated soils. Okay. Next term is irrigation efficiency. What is the irrigation efficiency? It is a term used to indicate how efficiently the available water supply is being used for the crop productions. How much water quantity available our agriculture farm and field, and how the efficiently our crop use the irrigation water to the crop production. That's called the irrigation efficiency. Next is irrigation scheduling. What is the irrigation scheduling? It refers to the number of irrigations for a crop and their timing. We all know the when we successful crop production, all crops are different irrigation scheduling. So the it refer the number of irrigation for a crop and their timing to successful crop productions. Okay. Next is irrigation water requirement. What is the irrigation water requirement? The quantity of water required for the successful crop production exclusive precipitation, groundwater, and other natural resources. Okay. So the irrigation water requirement included the quantity of water required for the successful crop production, exclusive of precipitation, groundwater, and other natural resources. The next term is interceptions. What is the interception? When the drop of rainfall or precipitation are intercepted by plant leaves, it's called the interceptions. The next terminology is idiotype, an ideal plant type developed through the breeding. That's called the idiotype. There are a lot of different type of breeding method. Soma clonal variations, so genetic engineering, mass breeding techniques, etc. So the an ideal plant type developed through the breeding, that's called the idiotype. Okay. The next term is indeterminate plant. What is the indeterminate plant? These plant the vegetative and the reproductive stage continue simultaneously. For example, our okra crop and tomato crops. Soybean is the only crop which has determinate and indeterminate as well as semi-determinate growing types. Next is inoculant. The bacteria containing material used to introduce nitrogen fixing rhizobium bacteria into the soil. That's called the inoculant. Inoculant are those material which is helpful uh, for the bacteria material to use in the our field. It play a channel to spread bacterial inoculation in the our soil and fields. So we say the what is the inoculant? Inoculant will be the bacteria containing material. It could be a farmyard manure, chalk powder, uh, or other organic materials used to introduce nitrogen fixing rhizobium bacteria into the soil. The next is integrated weed management. As the name indicate, integrated weed management, which means the combined something combined uh, weed management practices. We can see the concept of integrated weed management involve the plan use for of all possible direct and indirect measures rather than relying on a single method to combat of weeds. Next term is intercropping. Intercropping, growing of two or more crop together on the same fields. Okay, where one crop, which is the main crop, planted in row first, and then the after another crop intercrop is planted in between the rows, which called the intercropping. These crop remain in association for a shorter time. So the these crop may or may not be planted and harvested at the same time. For example, in sugarcane planting of onion or garlic, etc. Or and the in the sugarcane farm, we sowing the onion or garlic, which is release the different type of allelochemicals, which is helpful for the spread of the various type of waste entity in from the field. So it is also helpful for the integrated pest management. The next is maximum potential soil moisture deficit. What is the potential soil moisture deficit? Is the greatest value of potential soil moisture deficit attained during the growth of a crop. Okay. Next is muck soil. What is the muck soil? If the quantity of the organic matter exceeds the 20% but less than the 50% are called as muck soils. If we are talking of the general soil containing the 5% of the organic material in the soil, which is called the fertile soil. In India's which is to 1 to 2% organic material contained in the our soils, which called the fertile soil in India's, and the for maximum to 4%, which is in the find on the USA soils. Okay, so the muck soil, if the quantity of the organic matter exceeds the 20% but the less than the 50% are called as the muck soils. What is the mulch? Mulch are the any material of practices which is used to check the loss of water by the evaporation is called as the mulch. Mulch are those material which is apply for the artificial in the upper surface of the crop. It could be a crop, for example, our lobia crop, berseem crop, etc. Also, we can use the artificial mulch material, which is the crop residue, polythene sheets, etc. Multiple cropping. What is the multiple cropping? It is growing of two or more crop in a year from the same time piece of land, which called the multiple cropping. Next term is necrotic or drug crops. The name indicate drug crop or necrotic, which is something. This is category include those crop which have some necrotic and drug values. For example, poppy and tobacco. So the next is natural erosion. What is the natural erosion? The erosion of the soil under the natural condition, which called the natural erosion. So when we talking about the natural erosion, first we understand what is the erosion. Erosion is the replacement of the soil particle one place to another place by the wind and the water action. Okay, so which is called the erosion. So and if we are talking about the water erosion maximum find on the coastal areas, for example, West Bengal and Kerala, and wind erosion find on the Rajasthan areas, dryland areas. Okay, so the natural erosion is the erosion of the soil under the natural conditions. Next is natural soil. What is the natural soils? Strictly speaking, a soil having pH of 7, which is neutral. In practice, a soil having pH 6.62 and 7.3, which is called the natural soil, which is uh, useful for the successful crop production, various type of the crop. It is the general type of the soil, so we can call them natural soils. The next is no tillage or crop, which is the zero tillage crop. Crop growing with or without any tillage to prepare seed, bed or rows, which called the no tillage farming or zero tillage crop. Okay, in this technique we didn't tillage our crop. We grown our crop without any tillage practices, and prepared the seed bed and rows. So it's called the no tillage crop or zero tillage farming. Next term is critical threshold level. A weed, insect or disease density capable of causing significant damage to crop is termed as a critical threshold level. In this level, our crop require the require the ideal weed management and insect and disease management practices for apply for the agriculture farm fields. Okay, in the critical threshold level, a weed or insect or density capable of causing the significant damage to our crops termed as a critical threshold level. Next is crop rotation. As we all know the what is the crop rotation. In this strategy of rising of crop from a piece of land in such an order or succession that is the fertility of land suffer minimally and the farmer profit are not reduced, which called the crop rotation. In crop rotation we are applying some principle following the crop rotation. If we growing the uh, or long root system crop first year, and another in the next season we should grow the uh, short long root system crops. Okay, if we growing the oil seed crop, next year we should be growing the pulses crop. That type crop rotation we maintain. If we showing the high nutrient requirement, high water requirement crops, another season or another crop we showing the less nutrient requirement and less water irrigation requirement crop. Next is crop water requirement. What is the crop water requirement? The amount of water required to raise a crop to maturity within a given period of time. Okay, the in crop water requirement, the amount of water which is required to raise a crop to maturity within a given time period, that's called the crop water requirement. Now a term of crop. What is the crop? A crop is a community of a plant grown under a field condition for its economic values. Next is cropping intensity. The term cropping intensity refers to the ratio of actual cultivated area to the total farm area over a year. Okay. Next is cropping pattern. It is a general cropping system follow or practices by the farmer in an ecological zone. And next is cropping scheme. What is the cropping scheme? Allocation of an area to different crop being grown on a particular farm in a year, which is called as cropping scheme. The last is cultivator. What is the cultivator? Which only cut and stir the soil, which called the cultivator. It is the equipment. Okay, so this is all for today in general agriculture terminology classes. If you like our video, please share and subscribe our YouTube agriculture warrior YouTube channel. If you have any query regarding this video, you can comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching video in the last end. Thanks again.